What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock, what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and talk about where Tesla may bounce to in the future based off what the charts are showing and based off the technical analysis. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the overall market, with the economy, with oil, with Elon Musk, and how all these things can affect Tesla's share price. And before I break anything down, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, deposit any amount of money into the account. You're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is, any of these 12 free stocks could be a free Tesla share, a free NEO share, or a mix of all of them. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 2 weeks. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at the market right now, Tesla did actually have a pretty crazy day. So did the overall market, with these ups and downs just all over the place. And you guys can notice Tesla came down pretty hard into open, dropping all the way down to that 233 zone. Now, 233 is actually a very important zone. I'm going to show you guys that in a couple of minutes. We got a nice bounce off that. But the real question is, are we ready to just start pushing up from here, or could we come down to another key level? So right now, we have to look at the overall context in the market first to better understand Tesla. OPEC just announced that they're going to be cutting oil production by about 1 million barrels per day, but now they increased it by over 2 million barrels. So now they're actually cutting it by a bigger margin. And this in turn is causing crude oil prices to go up. Now, this is not the best of signs for CPI and other metrics like this, because we just barely started to see a big decrease in the gas prices for retail, especially between the months of like August and September. And now it's looking like we're probably going to see gas prices going up for the month of October, and this may have a negative effect on CPI. So now it's very telling that we're not necessarily in the best of states, and we don't really know if CPI has peaked or not. And remember, this will heavily affect the Fed's policies, how hawkish they really are for the future, especially because we have November and then December FOMC meeting coming up. So additionally, there's something else that's very important, and that is when you look at the SPY right here. Looking at the options chain for October 7th, let me highlight this real quick. There is still a 2.05 puts to call ratio. Now, some people could argue that, oh, people are buying puts, the market should be dropping. Well, the market makers know this, and what they tend to do during times like this, they tend to do the opposite of what the majority are doing. This is why the market tends to not really work in most people's favors that try to trade, because if too many people are on one side, it incentivizes market makers, the institutions, and hedge funds all working together to actually prop up the markets and do the opposite of what the majority opinion are intending. So this isn't a guarantee that the markets are going to continue pushing for like tomorrow and the day after, but it is an indication that we're not just going to start crashing from here. We could actually see the market hold up pretty well. Now, overall, if you look at the market, SPY had a crazy, crazy day. We actually came down very hard. We came to like 370.95, a very key zone. Huge bounce off that, filling this gap to the upside and actually pushing to almost 380. So this is right here a sign that SPY is still showing some strength. We were just barely red today overall, just a small push at the very end to the downside. And it looks like we still have momentum, and we could see SPY hit the 380s very soon. This is important because the QQQ, the NASDAQ, are likely to follow this trend. If you look at the QQQ, very similar setup, almost identical setup. The nice gap fill came, followed by a big push up. And we could see the NASDAQ, a lot of tech stocks actually respond very positively because of this. So this could actually help Tesla a bit, because when we saw the market pushing up like this, Tesla actually responded by bouncing off this very key zone off that 233. It did not show nearly as much strength as before, and there is some potential for downside, but I want to actually talk about the retracement levels. So why is Tesla dropping like this? Why on earth is Tesla taking a big hit? We all know, because there was this whole Twitter fiasco that was going on. It obviously subsided for some time, but now Elon Musk is backing the deal, and it looks like both Twitter and Elon Musk are confined on closing the deal. Now, This is bringing some worry for lots of Tesla investors. We're seeing lots of FUD articles coming out, like this one right here, where they're saying things like, is it time for Elon Musk to find a Tim Cook for Tesla? So they're implying that Elon Musk may not even be CEO again for Tesla. And this whole thing is like so big. Now, I don't necessarily see that as the case, but what does worry some investors is Elon Musk may not have as much time for Tesla if he does become the CEO of Twitter, or if he does even like acquire the company and do big ventures with that. So with that said, I mean, this will have an effect on him and his productivity. However, there is good news about this, and that is the fact that Elon Musk could use Twitter in different ways to really advertise for Tesla without even having to charge money. And on top of that, what I think is like very, very interesting is with Elon Musk being involved in these ventures, this is a big advantage and like a big opportunity for shorts to take advantage of this. And they are now piling in on Tesla as of right now. So Tesla is dropping on high volume, which is not the best of signs. If I drop down right here, let me just show you guys this. The short volume percentage for Tesla is probably going to start increasing a bit. It was a little bit down yesterday as Tesla did get that big pop. However, I do anticipate more sellers and maybe some more shorting to continue on the stock, but whether this affects the share price depends on many factors. So other data right here is showing us the price pairs ratio is going down. This is a sign, and Tesla is showing some relative weakness to the markets. They both are coming down together, but Tesla's dropping down harder because of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt about this whole Twitter situation. Now, many big banks out there, we have another one, Goldman Sachs, are giving Tesla a buy rating. Once again, a very good buying opportunity is coming in zones like this. Historically, Thursdays tend to be actually red days for Tesla. Tesla tends to not actually be green during these time frames. Because we're still oversold, that's where the real question comes in. Are we just going to bounce, or are we going to continue to drop? So one trend we're seeing in Tesla is this thing drops pretty hard. We get a small bounce, push up a bit, then we drop down again, get a small bounce. So you're probably thinking, are we going to continue to drop down again? Well, there's one thing you can actually do to find out. So I have a less meticulous amount of support zones on Tesla. I was using a bigger time frame Fibonacci retracement for you guys, and this shows you some very interesting things. So right here, where Tesla came down to, we were trading very close to where the golden pocket is. This is a very key retracement zone. That would be the 0.618 to the 0.65 retracement. And you'll notice Tesla was chopping a bit, but then we got a big rejection and we came down. Now, the 0.707 retracement right here, this is actually at 233. All right. And that is where Tesla actually got a small bounce. So it is possible for Tesla to bounce off this and start pushing up from here. However, we can't know for sure unless we get confirmation of this, because right now, Tesla is not moving based off technicals. We're moving based off news, panic, maybe some capitulation here and there, things like that. So if Tesla breaks below 233, it has the potential to go to 226. This is the 0.786. This is where Tesla could get a nice bounce, and it should actually do that, in my opinion. It is very oversold. However, if the shorts come in very hard and they start shorting this thing like crazy, because when you look at the data, I think it's somewhere like down here, the short interest of Tesla is going up. The shorts are piling in. They're trying to push this thing down, and we're seeing a big spike in this short volume. So what I'm saying is, look, if this thing comes down below 233, this thing could retest 226. It should bounce off there. If not, then the next very extreme key retracement zone would be that 0.885, or the point that's about like 216.92. I don't really see Tesla coming this low. I would like to see a bounce either at 233 or 226, in my honest opinion. Now, I have a more meticulous chart right here where I can actually show you even more support zones. So let me actually pull this up closer. So looking at Tesla, right here, if Tesla comes down tomorrow, hypothetically, all right, this thing has a little bit of support at about that 235 level. Now, this is not major support. The bigger support zone is going to be that 233. So we could form kind of like a double bottom if we come down and hopefully get a bounce off that. And if Tesla does not hold 233, you have to watch 230. I mean, could we bounce off there? Maybe. It's just a little bit less likely, and we're more likely to go to that psychological 0.786 retracement, which is the 226 level. So watch this zone right here. Very important zone if Tesla does end up coming down tomorrow again, which is very possible. I can't predict it perfectly because we're moving based off news. We're moving based off fear and events like that. Now, if Tesla does get a push to the upside, that's also possible. That's because we have this big gap right here and we are very oversold. And I am leaning more towards a bounce somewhere either at like 233 being the zone or 226. Hopefully it's 233 and we already got it. So if we do form kind of like a double bottom, if the market is continuing to hold up and maybe like rally a bit more, this could help Tesla push up a bit and maybe continue to push up to about that 242 zone. 242 is where Tesla has resistance. If we break above that, then you have to watch that 200 EMA around the like 245 zone. And if we break past that, if you see Tesla above 245 tomorrow, maybe like the day after, it's possible this thing rallies all the way up to about that 249 zone. That's where Tesla has this gap right here. And we can actually look at a different time frame for confirmation of it. So right here, there's this gap at about, where is it? It's like 248 around there. We could push up and fill this gap very soon if Tesla gets a nice break above 245, in my opinion, a break above that 200 EMA. What's good is on the bigger time frames, like the 1 day chart. Right now, Tesla's continuing to just drop really, really hard, but we are seeing a long wick right here. So this is a sign that Tesla may have actually bounced right here, but we don't know for sure until we get confirmation. All right, so watch your levels carefully. My honest opinion is either 233 or 226 would be one of the big bounce zones. I hope that that is what ends up happening. So watch these zones very carefully. From a technical standpoint, let me actually hide many of these. I want to look at what the momentum is now showing for Tesla. If we look right here, you will notice so far there's no confirmation of a bounce just yet. There is one possible indication, that's this wick right here. And besides that, the MACD is still pretty open, RSI is still oversold, and we do not have much momentum on the daily. On the weekly time frame, let's see if this actually loads. On the weekly time frame, you will notice a very similar trend. The weekly still does not look that good as of right now. It does look like we're getting a MACD crossover with the signal line. Both the indicators are losing momentum and coming down. So hopefully that's the reversal. Once it comes, we see a big improvement. As of right now, there's not confirmation yet. On like a smaller time frame, I would like to use like the 1 hour time frame, for instance. We're noticing that on the 1 hour we're seeing lots of chop here and there, but there's not like a clear zone. There's a possibility that 233 could be the bounce zone, but once again, confirmation is what's needed. So these things are just telling me the same thing. Tesla looks like it could continue to drop unless we already bounced off 233. If 233 is not it, 226 would be a very likely zone for this thing to bounce off of, because that's where the 0.786 is. So anyways, guys, I know this is very hard and unconventional for a lot of investors because Tesla did not do anything wrong, so to speak. Their deliveries were not that bad. They weren't even bad, so to speak. They actually broke their record for the quarter. They just didn't meet expectations. And on top of that, there wasn't really any like super bearish catalyst that came out. Elon Musk acquiring Twitter, for instance, I don't consider that a very bearish catalyst because Tesla has a massive roadmap. They have their goals, they have ideas, they have all these things already set for future expansion. Could their goals be a little bit harder to achieve without having Elon Musk as active? The answer is maybe, but the thing is, do not bet against Elon Musk. He's very capable. He knows what he's doing. So I want to put my trust in him because even though people may disagree with what he says, what he does here and there, completely understandable. I understand everything. But you have to note that the man is still brilliant. He's still very capable. And I would not bet against him. Betting against Tesla is like betting against him. And I'm very confident the long term future of this company is still very bright as we're going to see very, very good growth as time goes on. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening. Have a great rest of the day. Please stay strong, remain calm, cool, and collected. And I will see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon because the long term future is bright. And peace out.